Hi, my name is Olga Ramora. I created an app about spiritual knowledge, Moonly.app, currently used by more than 7 million people in different countries. I'm also developing an online store within our company Cosmic Vibration. I produced a film about the forest, which was showcased at 5 international festivals in the categories of environmental protection and human rights. On this channel, I inspire you to become creators. Today, I will share my experience on how to design a mobile app. I have almost 5-year experience on developing Moonly.app. Today, creating a mobile app is something what many people want to do. The main obstacle on launching an app is that it's much more expensive than using marketplace platform for your content. If you have content such as courses, online education, you still can use services, templates, websites, social net groups. However, you will pay subscription for such services and will not have many opportunities to develop your interface. It's only to upload your content. Templates are not very flexible. For example, I needed to make a lunar calendar and I couldn't make it in simple templates, so I started with the interface design and development. At some point, if you also understand that your service is much more complicated, you can go to a mobile development studio or you can hire your own team to develop your product. Both these ways have their own advantages and disadvantages. When you go to a studio, you get a full package. They make a design and a code, production, and they help with uploading it in App Store. However, usually they are not interested in further support of your project. More likely, development will be more expensive than creating it step by step with your own team. And this is what I see as a main disadvantage. If you have skills in designing or programming, that would be better to sort out details yourself from the very beginning. I would recommend that you order firstly a design, as it might take around several months to be done, and then invite a developer to implement the core idea of your design. If you have 5 different features, divide all steps with the developer. The main goal is to make MVP for your product. For example, the first screen of the main feature of your app. I have a mobile app of lunar calendar and we also have affirmations, meditations. So the main feature is lunar calendar. There we faced with the problem to launch a lunar calendar first. In astrology sphere, there is a lot of scam, and there is the reason why App Store is careful about such esoteric apps, especially now when there are a lot of AI-based apps. So we removed the calendar and launched affirmations instead because it's more about psychology, and it worked. And when we got into App Store, we started to get downloads and reviews. And after that, the development became easier. We have a big audience, and now App Store and Google Play have a different attitude to our service as they know us. So from my experience, I believe having your own team is better because of flexibility in product improvement. It is also cheaper at the beginning and you will have more control. Let's turn to design and content. At the very beginning, I had no app. I had only my design that I created myself, and they were quite ordinary. Back then, I did them in the way I could. Before the code, for half a year, I paid for text articles to create unique content because my app is about content. What is lunar calendar? What is full moon? What is eclipse? So the main value of our app is content. For content-oriented apps, to be commercially successful, they have to be attractive to people on a daily basis. Of course, you have to understand that you will do your product 24 hours a day for next several years. So you must be passionate about it as its commitment. Before starting, you have to analyze your sphere carefully. You can use the app's magic site and have a look at numbers of the market of your area. For example, astrology has less money in the market compared to fitness, and fitness area could have different acquisition cost. So there are different types of marketing costs, and you can explore the price of acquisition and how much money the biggest companies of your sphere earn. And more or less, you will understand the opportunities of your product. It's also valuable to research currently market trends and tendencies. Then you can explore existing services in your area. Don't try to copy them, because if you copy, it's very clear that you do that. It's not respectful for your future reputation. It would be great if you have your own idea what you want to innovate. It should be original to attract customer attention. And through design and branding, your product will stand out. In my personal experience, when I do something for myself, it's really changing the market. When we started to do the Moonly app, there were not many apps with Eastern astrology. Now there are more and more such services, but we were one of the first. Why so many use the Western astrology? Because in Europe and the USA, obviously, there were free open libraries about it, but there were much fewer of them about Eastern astrology. So I decided to study astrology, and first calculations I did myself manually. And the funny fact, I had no experience, and I had an idea to find astrophysicist and math specialist. Fortunately, later we found libraries. As you can see, it's okay to start from scratch and follow this famous saying, fake it until you make it. It's natural that you will need to learn a lot of things on the way while you're creating your startup. I would recommend watching series on Netflix, Silicon Valley. It illustrates how the team feels, how they grow. I couldn't believe before, but it is like this. It's a real journey, and it's your personal journey. I remember these amazing moments of changes. When I was a musician, I said, I want to study design. Then, when I became a designer, I said, wow, these people sitting around computers, these startuppers, I feel that energy. But I never expected to become one of them. And somehow, some years later, I am one of them, and I keep learning and learning. Each month, we are improving the product. Each month, we have some updates. We work on content, features, and technical part, bugs fixing, and UI. And another big part is monetization. You already have a good product. It works smoothly, and people can download your app fast, which is very important for monetization. If you have it, another important part is A/B tests, paywalls, and marketing. I receive a lot of questions from IT entrepreneurs related to lifestyle, and not only. They have a product, but they are not growing. Why? People won't come if you don't work on marketing. During first year, we developed our marketing strategy with an agency, and then we started to do it in-house. Now we have marketing department, design department, content department, and there are around 40 people in the team. If you want to start, you have to invest around $5,000–10,000 to launch your MVP. And maybe this first investment will include marketing. After you create and launch your product, you'll need to spend money for the tests, and you need your economics to work well. The first marketing test shows everything. If your product works well, you can further find investments and grow faster. You can search your lucky angels from whom you trust and feel comfortable with. It makes sense to look for someone who will be passionate about your area and your innovation. Also, there are startup accelerators in different countries. You have to understand if you go there. Of course, you will have great experience and guidance, and they will show your product to right investors. But you have to share with the accelerator. The main rule there, the major share must belong to the founder to keep motivation to develop the product first years. Or you can go by yourself. If you work on non-technical sphere, you can grow slowly, month by month, on your own money. Also, you can get money from factoring companies. It's a sort of loan with a low interest rate. About monetization models. The best model is when you attract people for low price subscription, for example, $15–30. And if a customer likes and trusts your product, then he might go for more expensive purchase. So you have to offer several products of different price range. Now in Moonly app, we are also working on new courses. Another idea how to grow through marketing channels is translating your app into different languages for different markets. So these are basic ideas on app development. It's a real-time investment. You have to be patient and believe in your product. After all, it's your belief that drives you to work on your product 24/7. Me and my team and my co-founder, we couldn't build Moonly without my studies in design, astrology, psychology, and without my deep connection with masters. So network is important. We do podcasts, we build deep bonds with musicians, and this is really about passion. You have to be devoted to what you do. If you want to avoid 101 mistakes in mobile app design, you can find my 50-page guide on my website ramora.design, where I share my 10-year experience in interface design for startups.